Hey guys, it is your girl Jade Ashley and I am back with a new video. Now I am not here for a video of when the beat drops, but I am here to talk about Kendrick Lamar's new album, Damn. So if you're interested in my thoughts on this new project, definitely stay tuned for more. Okay guys, so let's get into this album. So first and foremost, I believe the last video of when the beat drops, I kind of talked about Kendrick when he had dropped like the whole like that album cover thing, and then he dropped the single like right before I recorded the last video of when the beat drops and stuff like that. So obviously it's been like a week or two since that happened. So you know, Kendrick has been at work. He has put together a solid body of work, I feel, in my opinion. Literally just, you know, he's able to relate, or he's able to talk about, you know, situations that we all can relate to. And I feel like what's different with this album versus To Pimp a Butterfly is definitely like the tone of it, I guess you can say. To Pimp a Butterfly, also he talked about social issues that we all can relate to and stuff like that, you know, police brutality and everything. But I think the To Pimp a Butterfly was more like a jazzy type of feel type of album. This definitely is more, I feel like, at the core of hip-hop, but still has, you know, a message. And it's not just like one of those rap songs or hip-hop songs that just basically sound stupid at some point in time. And I mean, we all are guilty of like liking songs or singing songs and stuff like that that really don't have too much meaning behind it. But definitely when it comes to Kendrick Lamar, you can always expect his music to have some type of meaning behind it. So I'm pretty much just gonna go through not every song, but just about every song that's on this project. There's a total of 14 songs on this entire project, and I just kind of want to just give my thoughts and let you guys know what did I think about this project. It dropped on Friday, and actually I was in a hair salon Thursday night, and iTunes, like if you basically get your music from iTunes, Apple Music or whatever, like an album will drop like an hour like before 12 o'clock hits. So like, don't ask me why I was in a hair salon that long, but I was in a hair salon that late at night. So like when 11 o'clock hit, I just I'm like, I'm in a hair salon and I ain't even got that hair. I don't have no hair. I took out my weave obviously, but anyway, so yeah, when 11 o'clock hit, I was like under the dryer drying the little bit of hair that I do have. And basically with that, I was like, oh snap, you know, Kendrick's album should be like on Apple right now. So I went, the album was there, and literally this is what happened. So the first track is the song Blood, which is basically like the introduction and kind of like basically sets it up. So I don't know, the samples on this album, like I don't know the core or the names of the exact songs that he sampled, but they, you know, give me like this 70s music type of vibe, I want to say. I hope I'm right. Maybe 70s, maybe early 80s type of vibe, the songs that he sampled on this project. But like I said, the intro, which is Blood, it basically kind of like sets everything up. And you know, he was just saying, you know, I was taking a walk, I seen this woman, you know, she looked like she needed any help, so I walked over to her and I was like, do you need any assistance and stuff like that? They're like, did you lose anything? And she's like, yeah, you lost something, you lost your life, pow. So I'm like, you know, he got shot, I guess. So then it goes into the second track. Now right off the bat, this is one song for sure that was like love at first listen, I guess you can say. It's just one of those songs, is the first time you hear it, it's just dope right out the back and you just absolutely love it. And that is the song DNA. Now DNA is one of the up-tempo tracks that's on the album, and basically he's like, I got royalty, got loyalty inside my DNA. So like basically just talking, you know, just about the wealth, not so much having to do with, you know, financially, but just like the wealth of, you know, being a black person basically and stuff like that. So I definitely feel like, you know, that is one of my favorite songs, and was one of my favorite songs, like I said, love at first listen. So definitely, if you haven't heard the album yet, you need to hear that song because it's dope. So yeah, the next one is Yeah. Now this one is a little bit slower. This is a mid-tempo and stuff like that, and he just kind of talked about different things. I feel like he kind of got like a little bit more personal. He kind of talked about his family. He talked about how Fox News wanted to talk about him. He talked about how his niece was like his new muse and stuff like that. So that was cool. It was a cool song. The next song that's another favorite of mine is Element. Now Element basically is like whatever I gotta do. Basically, if I gotta slap a pussy ass nigga, I'ma make it look sexy. Like, you know, just anything I gotta do. But whatever it is, you're never gonna take me out my element. You're never gonna take me out my character. You're never gonna take me out of who I am. But trust me, whatever I gotta do, I'ma do it, and I'll make it look graceful with ease and stuff like that. So I definitely like that. And the chorus is absolutely like a catchy song. I feel like a lot of the songs that he's done, like, not that he hasn't had like catchy songs within the past, but I feel like this project alone, just with like the choruses and stuff like that, is definitely instantly catchy, and Element is definitely one of those catchy songs. The next one that I want to talk about is the song Loyalty, which is 6. You know, I'm skipping around. So Element was number 4. The 5th song is the song Feel, and the 6th song is the song Loyalty featuring Rihanna. Now earlier this week he had actually posted the track listing to the album like on Instagram and stuff like that. So, you know, we kind of got to see like who's featured on the album and stuff. There's only 3 features, and one of the features that everybody was talking about and everybody could not wait to hear how this song sounded was Loyalty featuring Rihanna, because it's Rihanna. Like, Rihanna and Kendrick, 2 of the biggest artists within this generation, and they're teaming up on the track. So we were so here for it, and it didn't disappoint. Like, I liked this song when I first heard it as well. Basically, to me, I feel like this song in particular definitely has a connection with the 2 following songs. So it's Loyalty is number 6. He has a song called Pride, that's number 7. And then, of course, we all know the song Humble, which was his first single that was dropped off of this album that was released. And I just kind of feel like there's a connection with all 3. Not just, like, obviously with the titles, Loyalty, Pride, and Humble. But, you know, like, at the end of Loyalty, they say, or Rihanna's part, it ends with, you know, it's hard to like be humble and stuff like that. And then obviously, you know, Pride, I feel like it's pretty much self-explanatory with the title, and then it goes into Humble, which is, you know, bitch, sit down, be humble, sit down. And like I said, like, the titles are self-explanatory, but, you know, I just felt like a connection with those 3 tracks in particular, and how they just kind of like segued into one another. Other than that, the 10th song is Love featuring Zachary. Now, I've never heard of this artist Zachary ever before, but I definitely like this track. Now, one reason why I like this track is because I feel like, for me personally, this is like the real first like love song I've ever heard Kendrick Lamar do. I mean, you could think about like songs in the past and stuff like that, and, you know, they can be directed towards a female and, you know, his feelings and all of that other stuff, but like a love ballad or something like that, I feel like this is the first track for me personally that I've heard from Kendrick. So again, another song that deals with well, self-explanatory title. And yeah, the singer on the chorus, he got a singer on the chorus, and he just sitting here rapping. He's like, love me, just love me, just love me. So, you know, like, I like that song as well. Moving on, we're gonna go to track number 12, and I skipped track number 9 just to let y'all know. So, you know, like I had talked about Humble, then it was track number 9, which is Lust, and then track number 10, which is Love featuring Zachary. Then we're gonna skip over track number 11, which is XXX, well, Triple X, featuring U2. Now, to me, I'm still trying to learn or understand that song, Triple X featuring U2, because there's definitely, for me, I feel like there's like a lot going on within that song and stuff like that. I feel like the song is pretty much more, the end of that song pretty much more captured my attention, but I pretty much, within like the past 2-3 days, I didn't really grasp that too much. But one song that I definitely feel like I connected to when listening to it was Fair. And what this track was about was basically about fear, obviously. Every song on this album is every song, the title of every song is basically self-explanatory. So I'm like, it's about fear. Obviously it's about fear. But the way he kind of set it up basically is that he kind of talked about, you know, fear in different stages of his life at different ages. Basically, like, what did he feared as a child, what he feared as a teenager, what he fears as an adult, and stuff like that. So basically, the first part of the song with Fear, I don't want to say like I didn't get every last one of these threats, but basically as a child, you know, the kind of things that you fear, like make sure you don't get those sneakers dirty, don't sit here and be out here acting grown and all this stuff, you know, things that your parents tell you. Like 9 times out of 10, if there was a threat that your parent told you at, you know, a young age or something like that, like you better not do that, or, you know, maybe this wasn't on a song, but you know how like when you go to like a grocery store with your parent, they be like, you better not touch nothing in here, you know, just stuff like that. So he, you know, basically pretty much rapped about and laid out every fear that he had as a child, you know, hearing from his parent. Then when it came to him being like a teenager and stuff like that, pretty much his fear, he was talking about the different reasons as to why you would probably die and stuff like that. And you know, within like the black community, within like these years, and I don't even want to say nowadays because it goes back to years ago where some, you know, young black men wouldn't even make it past their teenage years and stuff like that. But he talked about the fear of the different ways, you know, he could die, or the different reasons he could have died as a teenager, and those were his fears at that age. Okay, yeah, sorry, my camera turned off, but basically, like I was saying, he basically talked about, you know, just the different reasons as to why, you know, he could have died, or probably like reasons as to why like other teenagers at the time, you know, died and stuff like that. Now, when it came to him being an adult within his like 20s and stuff like that, he basically talked about a multiple amount of things that, you know, pretty much contributes to his fears and, you know, fears he's had or, you know, currently has and stuff like that. So one of the things he kind of talked about, it was more so like being cheated out of money. Now, he used the example as far as Rihanna being cheated out of money, and he was like, you know, if I was Rihanna, you know, that's some type of shit that make me want to kill somebody. And then another thing he kind of talked about was being judged, was another fear of his, and I feel like that's definitely a fear of mine as well. Being judged, for sure. And, you know, just the loss of humbleness and love and stuff like that, those are the kind of things that, you know, he fears as an adult, or he feared as an adult and stuff like that. And basically, you know, the chorus on the song, it says, if you could roll up your fear and smoke it away and stuff like that. Me, preferably, if I can roll up my fear and drink it away, you know, that'd be awesome. And, you know, that track, it ended with words, I guess you could say words of wisdom from like his dad and stuff like that. But other than that, I'm gonna skip track 13, which is God. Now, actually, I like God, definitely. I like the music for it. The music on all of the tracks are absolutely dope, and I think God is a dope track as well. But other than that, I do want to talk about the last track, which is Duckworth. And basically, for me, like, you know, it was pretty much like a conclusion. You know how you write an essay and stuff like that, then you got to end with your conclusion. And basically that's how I pretty much view Duckworth. And at the like very end of that track is, you know, it pretty much summed up all of the records that went from like 1 to 13, because, you know, Duckworth was the 14th track. And yeah, it ended with the line that he started with in Blood, which is, so I was taking a walk the other day. And that's the end of the album. So yeah, overall, I mean, you can always depend on Kendrick Lamar to give you like a strong message. I definitely feel like with this album, he took a different route as far as like the sound of the music to you know, portray his message and stuff like that. You see, you know, everybody out here turning up to his song Humble, and still at the end of the day it has a message in it, you know, talking about be humble and stuff like that. So I definitely enjoyed this album. I'm still pretty much learning some of the songs, or, you know, grasping the message of some of the songs. Always like I hear the message, but, you know, I'm trying to, you know, soak it in and, you know, feel it the way, you know, like his song Fair and stuff like that. Pretty much as a full body of work, out of 10, if I had to rate this album, I would definitely probably give it an 8.5 or a 9, just because it's Kendrick Lamar, and at the end of the day, he's one of the very few lyricists that we have within the industry. You know, after this album, I seen like a lot of people say, you know, Kendrick Lamar is definitely one of the greatest rappers, and they're even placing him in their top 5 when it comes to other rappers such as Tupac, Biggie, Jay-Z's, and Eminem's, and Nas's, and stuff like that. Like, that's how serious, you know, people are taking this album. But I definitely think it's a dope body of work. I'm definitely looking forward to continuing to listening to the entire project, because I'm the type of person that will listen to it over and over and over and over, and probably like another week from now I'm gonna love it more than I already do. But if you checked out Kendrick Lamar's new album Damn, definitely comment below and let me know your thoughts. Other than that, I want to thank you guys for tuning into this video, and I will see you in my next video. So bye. Hey guys, thank you for watching, and don't forget to share and subscribe, and I will see you all next time.